I built an e-commerce business to seven figures in revenue and then sold it for 700K US dollars in just 2 years. Now I have three ecom brands that bring in over six figures a month. This process is repeatable and well trodden if you're willing to learn the skills and do the work. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap to a seven figure ecom brand in 2 years. Here are a couple of ecom brands where I know the founders that have got to seven figures in revenue within 2 years. This one sells golf simulators and enjoyed an eight figure exit. This one sells e bikes to hunters and enjoyed a six figure exit. What do they have in common? Well, first and foremost, they sell products online on behalf of other brands as a retailer. And the second thing is that they follow this playbook and leverage these strategies for success. Let's dive into the process. The first thing we need to do is choose a high potential niche. There are loads of those out there. AI is our friend to help us ideate. We're looking for something where people buy high ticket products. By high ticket, I mean at least $1,000, all the way up to probably 15,000, and they do it to fulfill a hobby, a need, a small business. You can see here straight away, AI has given me 20 viable niches. The next thing I need to do is I need to do some research of what suppliers might exist, because what we're going to do here is be a retailer. We're not taking the risky route of manufacturing our own product and having to ship loads of inventory in. We're going to partner with businesses that already design and manufacture a product. We're just going to sell it on their behalf, because then all we have to do is get great at, and let's have a look at our playbook. Great at bringing visitors to our site profitably through SEO and paid traffic. Great at converting them and serving them as our customers and therefore maximizing our profit. Okay, so we need to find some retailers to partner with. ChatGPT in agent mode is brilliant here. In this example, I've chosen the high ticket niche of golf simulators. So I need it to help me find manufacturers of products such as launch monitors, mats, enclosures, projectors, etc. Now, there's a few criteria they need to meet. The first thing, and this is very important, they need to be based in the US or whichever territory I'm running my business in. UK, Australia, it doesn't matter. In this case, I'm starting a US business. So they need to either be based in the US or list a distributor in the USA on their website, i.e., they're already importing these products in and they're physically in the country we're selling. This is important because we're not going to hold inventory. We're going to retail the products, find the buyers, and ship direct from the manufacturer. Okay. We also need to know that they sell through retailers, because some will only sell direct to consumer from their own website. So we need ChatGPT to verify that there are other retail websites selling these products right now. So we have our niche, we have the suppliers we want to reach out to. Now it's time to get some skin in the game. We're going to build a Shopify e-commerce store, which is something that I've seen multiple people with no online experience do very effectively. In fact, this particular business was built by two people with no prior e-commerce experience. Okay. Once we have that, we can start reaching out to our suppliers and honing our pitch to get some on board so we can start to retail for them. And now we're unleashed. Now we can start to leverage all of these strategies to bring visitors to site, convert them, and start to make profit. Now, here's what we're reaching for. We want to get to a place within 2 years where we're bringing 30K quality visitors to site, traffic in essence, per month. We're converting those by doing our best job on conversion rate optimization and other strategies at 0.1%. Essentially, one in every 1,000 people that come to our site buys. That means we get 30 sales a month, average order value of 3K. Now we've got a 90K a month revenue, or over £1 million seven figure ecom brand that's net profiting around 15%, 150K, and has an exit value of over half a million. Now, sounds simple enough, but it's the work and the execution that gets you there. And that is what this roadmap is all about. Now, I'm going to go very quickly through these strategies because I'm showing you a roadmap of work in one video. But if you want to deep dive and learn any of them, I have a free to join school community with a module on each. The link to join that is in the first comment below. Now let's start with ads, because if we can't profitably acquire traffic, we're not going to be able to hit this 30K quality visitors per month. Now the first ad type we run is these shopping ads. Here's an example of Google shopping ads. When we type in a search term, we're met with these e-commerce style shopping ads. The euros because I run my business from Barcelona. There is a very specific way that we need to set these up within Google Ads. The setup here is all about the commercial intent of the search terms. So for the generic search terms like golf simulator, cheapest launch monitor, how much space do I need for a simulator, the propensity to convert is very low because these are generic top of the funnel searches. Therefore, we bid low and we get a smaller share of the impressions available for that traffic. Now, with the style of search terms that are middle of the funnel, for example, comparing two brands, or They know they want an indoor retractable golf sim, so they're a bit more advanced in their search. We start to bid a bit more. The purchase intent is medium, therefore, the amount we bid in the impression share we get is that much higher. Then we have our money search terms: an actual product and brand name, indoor retractable golf simulator under $5,000, 8 foot wide garage door, golf sim enclosure. These are things where the customer knows exactly what they want, they're high propensity to convert, and we want as much of that traffic as possible. So in that campaign, we're bidding high and winning the auction about 80% of the time. Then we layer on two more ad types to optimize our setup. The first is text ads. We use that for winning, converting keywords. Once we've found one, let's say inflatable golf simulators are a bestseller of ours and this keyword's converting really well in shopping, we also layer on text ads so we can hit that exact keyword to a landing page. That way we occupy more of the real estate on the Google search. And then also retargeting. That's serving ads to customers that have already been to our site. We've cookied them so we know they're interested in a certain product or product type. Then we start to show them ads on Meta, Pinterest, Google, etc. This is a good example. I've used an ad creative AI engine here to do something like showing, we'll do the installation, you warm up your swing. We're keeping ourselves omnipresent and front of mind for our interested traffic to keep them in the funnel. Now, high quality ads is only one portion of that 30K quality visitors per month. The next is organic search from SEO. There's a few things we need to do here. The first is our experience, expertise, authority, and trust, and our technical SEO. Those are the signals we send to Google that we're worthy of ranking. Then we need to do some blogging for browsing traffic. Our paid traffic is very focused on high intent commercial keywords, but we also want to get some traffic when they're browsing. For example, if I come here to Golf Simulator, you can see people also ask questions. These are searches people put in where they're considering and browsing to buy a golf simulator. And there's loads of these and loads of traffic available. I have a tool here that scrapes them all, and you can see we've got hundreds just relating to golf simulators. And we can create blog content to those that ranks and gets traffic onto our site higher up the funnel that we can then help make a buying decision. We also do keyword research to find commercial keywords that we want to rank for organically and create hyper optimized landing pages to rank for those, like commercial golf simulator, inflatable golf simulator. These are keywords we'll go after organically to get traffic onto our site that buys. We also leverage some backlink building strategies, which is where we convince other authority sites in the space to link to us to increase Google's opinion of our website. And we use microsites as part of our digital real estate. That is other websites, normally very small one page, that serve an individual purpose. Couldn't find one in the golf simulator space because this is an underutilized strategy. But you can see here in cold plunges, a site has created the best cold plunges on the market. They've recommended the Titan Wellness cold plunge. And look, if I go all the way down to the bottom and I look at their terms and conditions, lo and behold, this site is actually run by Titan Wellness themselves. So it's been made to go after this best ice plunge keyword and put their brand at the very top. Finally, on getting those 30K quality visitors a month, we also want some external traffic. Affiliates are a great way to do this. You can see this site, its whole job is to rank for keywords like best golf simulator and recommend certain products and then push traffic to those pages to buy. They get a commission for that. Now they're pushing these, for example, to Amazon. Traditionally, Amazon offer very poor terms for affiliates. So we can come in, reach out to businesses like this and get them to push to our product page instead. And then we also optimize for AI engines because the way people search AI rather than Google is much longer tail with more requirements. So we make sure our site is packed with structured data and first-hand experience that meets as many of the AI prompt queries as possible so that more often than not, when you see these citations and AI shopping, that they're pushing to our site. Now, each of those strategies alone is incredibly powerful. Layered one on top of the other, you're going to breeze your way to those 30K quality visitors. Now it's time to convert them into 30 sales or more. The first is on-page conversion rate optimization. That is essentially how we make sure as many people as possible who land on our site buy. There's loads of things we can do here. The first is great quality lead magnets. You can see that here. Build your own SIM bundle. They've understood that trying to put all the pieces together, the projector, the enclosure, the mat, the track monitor, etc., is one of the biggest challenges of this browsing experience. So they've built something that helps us to do all of that in a really slick journey. Another tool that's fantastic for Crow is Microsoft Clarity. That allows you to look at exactly where people are clicking, seeing, dropping out from your site so you can fix issues and increase conversions. Now, even after that conversion rate optimization, Buying cycles in high ticket are long. Some just won't be ready to buy at the time. So we capture their email using lead magnets, like we just talked about, with building a SIM bundle for them, for example. And we email market to them so that when the time is right, we're front of mind to purchase from. And we automate as much of this as possible. In fact, automation and utilizing AI to execute these at scale for the lowest cost as fast as possible is a huge part of the success of this module and what we teach and give you the tools for in the school community that's free to join. Link below in case you missed it. So we have our 30K monthly visitors. We're getting those 30 sales or more. Now for the cherry on the cake, our average order value. Now that 3K baseline will just simply come from the products we chose to sell. We chose a niche where the products are high ticket so we can achieve that 3K or more. But we can push that higher. And the great thing is when we already have the traffic and the conversions, if we increase our average order value by 10%, we've also grown our business and our sales by 10%. We can do that in a couple of ways. The first is bundling and upselling, a really easy thing to do where you already have the customer's attention. As you can see here, as you build a package for someone, you can upsell them. So you can see here, we can also sell them the laptop for the simulator. We can sell them a pad turf bundle. More products to the same customer means just one acquisition cost and more revenue per customer and a bigger business. And whilst we start out by selling products as a retailer on behalf of other brands, that's only so we keep upfront costs low. You can start one of these businesses for 3,000 US dollars or so. But in the future, once we have a captive audience and a really good knowledge of what they like, that's when we can go to a factory, increase our margins, and bring our own product to market with an email list, a captive audience, profitable ads, and a great knowledge of the market as a springboard to launch our own product and further grow our business and our enterprise value. Now, that is literally the roadmap I use with nothing held back to build seven-figure e-commerce businesses that are also worth the multiple when it comes to an exit. Traditionally, you get about a 3.5 to 4x multiple on net profit, which is why a business that's netting 150K is worth in excess of $500,000. Take it from someone who spends all day, every day in the space. 99% of businesses, your future competitors, are not doing most of these to a high level. Now, with the school community, we give you all the tools and knowledge to be able to do that. It's just whether you're going to do the work.